Runnin' with the Devil, a rock and roll adventure. Part 3. I came to, still screaming. I could still feel the heat from the fire burning my skin. I stopped screaming, and tried my best to endure the pain. As I opened my eyes, I quickly realized that I was back in my bedroom at home, laying in bed, under the blankets, flat on my back, and covered in sweat. The blankets on the bed were pulled tight around the edges, and all the way up to my neck, like a butterfly in a cocoon. I squirmed around a little bit, to try and free myself from the blankets, and I did. I sat up quickly, moving my legs, so that they hung off the edge of the bed. I realized then, that I was completely naked, having no idea what happened to my clothes. I closed my eyes, and put my head in my hands, completely overwhelmed. I sat there for a minute or so, trying to compose myself, thinking, that was some wicked-ass dream I just had. I sat back up, opening my eyes, and pulling my head from my hands. That is when I noticed them. The cuts in my wrists from the leather straps, and the blood stains on my wrists. I quickly looked down at my ankles. There were cuts and blood there as well. Oh my God, I said out aloud, that wasn't a dream. I started shaking in fear. Unable to endure the burning pain any longer, I darted out of my room, ran down the hallway, and into the bathroom. Did I mention I was naked? Thank God my mom wasn't upstairs at the time. Anyway, I quickly turned on the shower, and jumped in. No, not waiting for the water to heat up a little, was a very, very bad idea. The cold water hit my hot skin, and it felt like acid. I cringed, and moved as far away from the water as I could. The water slowly heated up, to a lukewarm temperature. I just stood there, under the water, for about 20 minutes, as my skin cooled down. I turned off the shower, got out, grabbed a towel, and began to dry off. I then caught a glance of myself in the mirror. "What's that on my arm?" I whispered to myself. With closer inspection, there, on my right bicep, was number 2557. At first, I thought it was a tattoo, but it was blinking. I rubbed my eyes, it was still there. I rubbed my arm, still there. I started freaking out, again. I put the towel around my waist, and ran downstairs, screaming like a wild man, "Mom, Mom, where are you?" My mom came out of the kitchen, and said, in her best mom voice, "Michael, why are you screaming? Jesus, son, put some clothes on." "Mom," I said frantically, pointing at my arm, "do you see this?" "See what, dear?" she asked confused. "Right there, Mom," I said annoyingly, "right there," pointing at the number flashing on my arm like a crazy man. "Do you see it?" "Honey, there's nothing there, are you feeling okay?" she asked. "What? You don't see it?" I said shockingly. "See what?" she replied. "Never mind, Mom," I said, totally frustrated, and ran back upstairs, with my towel falling halfway up the stairs. I was completely naked again. I got to my room, and decided it was about time I got dressed. I can't run around naked all day, right? I went to my dresser, and pulled out some socks and underwear, put them on, and then I went to my closet. I opened the door, and there was my black Sabbath jacket, the one I wore when I met the old man, and the jeans I wore as well. What the fuck, how did they get in there, I thought. After what happened last time, I'm not wearing any of that stuff. Hell, I don't even want it anymore, I thought. I rummaged around a little bit. I found an old pair of black sweatpants, a white t-shirt that read, "I love puppies," that my grandmother gave me years ago, and an old pair of Converse sneakers. I figured, that's safe enough, right? Anyway, I got dressed, sat at my desk, and just stared at my arm for about 10 minutes. Okay, it's got to mean something, but what? I mumbled to myself. What did the old man say? 7 years, I said, thinking out loud. I quickly grabbed a calculator from my desk drawer. 7 years. Okay. 7 years multiplied by 365 days a year, equals 2,555. Nope. That's not it, the numbers don't add up, I said. Wait a minute, this is a leap year, so that's one more day, and there's another leap year in 4 years. So there's 2 more days in 7 years. 2,555 plus 2 is. Oh my God, it's a counter of how many days I have left, and only I can see it. What did I get myself into? I frantically ran to my closet, and found my dad's old duffel bag, the one that he gave me when he retired from the army. I opened the bag, threw all my heavy metal t-shirts, my torn jeans, my hats, my belts, my boots, and anything else I could find metal related, into the bag. I ripped down all the posters from the walls, threw all my skulls, all my crosses, and all other metal related objects into the bag as well. It's amazing how much stuff those bags can actually hold. Anyway, I dumped my entire tape collection into the bag as well, strapped it up, and threw it in the hallway. I'm done, I'm gonna start listening to opera, I thought. I grabbed my guitar, ran out of my room, grabbed the duffel bag off the floor, and ran down the stairs with it all, the duffel bag slamming down hard on each step. My mom was sitting on the couch in the living room, watching some talk show on TV. She turned to me, and said, "Michael, what the hell are you doing? Here, I made you some coffee, tell me what's going on." "No time for coffee, Mom," I yelled, "gotta go." I burst through the screen door, and out to my car, threw the duffel bag in the back seat, and commenced to smashing the guitar on the concrete driveway. From the doorway of the house, I heard my mom yell, "Michael, stop, what are you doing? That's an $800 guitar. Are you on drugs?" At that moment, that line from that Suicidal Tendencies song popped into my head. I replied without even thinking, "No, Mom, I'm not on drugs. Why don't you get me a Pepsi?" She stood up straight, turned around, and slowly walked back in the house. I then threw the broken guitar into the back seat, hopped in the car, started it up, backed out of the driveway, and tore down the road like a NASCAR driver. I put my seatbelt on first though. Anyway, I drove around for a while, thinking, what am I gonna do with this stuff? I could donate it to the local Goodwill, I thought, then decided against it. They're going to make money off of stuff that I give them for free. Fuck that. I'll sell it at a yard sale first, and keep the money myself. We're not doing that. I decided to throw it all in the river. So, I drove over to Assawoman Bridge. Seriously, that's the real name of a bridge in my hometown. Anyway, I drove over there, got out of the car, grabbed the broken guitar, and heaved it into the water. I then grabbed the duffel bag, unstrapped it, and dropped all my stuff into the river below. Except the duffel bag, my dad would have beat my ass if anything happened to that thing. I threw it in the back seat. I just stood there, on the side of the bridge, watching it all sink and float away, until I couldn't see it anymore. I got in my car, after about 30 minutes, and drove around until it got dark, then I went home. I got a weird feeling when I pulled into the driveway. I walked through the front door, my mom was standing there. She scared the shit out of me. "Mom, what are you doing?" She had a far-off look in her eyes. She held a can of caffeine-free Pepsi in her hand, my favorite. She raised her hand, as if to present it to me, and said, "Will this fill your desire?" "What? Desire? My mom don't talk like that," I thought. I took the Pepsi and said cautiously, "Thanks, Mom." She turned and slowly walked down the hallway, and into my parents' bedroom. I stood there, dumbstruck for a few minutes after. Then I remembered what the old man said. "You will achieve all your desires." This could work out pretty good for me, I thought. Why fight it? I was going to hell anyway, so I might as well have some fun with it. I slowly walked to my room, crawled into bed, in my almost completely empty room, and just as I was about to fall asleep, I whispered, "I want all my stuff back."